And now I'd like to invite to the podium our former MML president and mayor of Hernando, Chip Johnson.
We're almost out of time, so I am going to be quick. I am a graduate, a proud graduate of South Haven High School. I'm not going to tell you what year. And I also graduated from DeSoto County Votech in metal trades, as did my younger brother, who is now a union pipe fitter and probably makes way more money than I make. My nephew went through that same program and just got accepted in the apprentice program. These things are important. I held a meeting a couple of months ago, and we brought in site selectors, and we were talking to a whole group of mayors up in North Mississippi about what people want when they're trying to bring businesses. That big incentive thing that we always hear about, that was about number 6 down the list. They know they're going to get financial incentives. They want a qualified workforce, and they want good education and good vocational technical education that's provided by the public schools, which could be provided by fully funding MAP. It's a big deal. This is economic development. You know, we have branded our city in Hernando as a city with great planning, good design, a healthy city, and people move there because of that. But if we didn't have good public schools, they wouldn't be showing up. We're kind of building on top of that base that's already there. I think my personal story tells a lot about DeSoto County. I was born in Tennessee, and my mom put me in private school till she couldn't afford it anymore. Then we moved across the state line for DeSoto County Schools, public education that was good. That entire county has been built on the base of good public education. So why would we not fund that? It's economic development at its core. DeSoto County, you know, I think everybody agrees that DeSoto County is doing pretty well, the fastest growing county in the state. It's all built on that education from day one. I transferred from Memphis schools to DeSoto County schools in 1974. It's been going on that long. And when people can make the decision to move based on education, they're going to go to a place that has good education, that has good buildings, good teachers, safe buses, all those things. So you've got to fund that. I just started reading a book called The Seamless City by Rick Baker, the former mayor of St. Petersburg. And he's talking about how to build a great community. He starts out talking about you have to partner with your educators. If you care about your city, you cannot overlook education. And I'll give you a couple of small things. We're talking about getting everybody in kindergarten. As a city, there's something you can do to get kids ready for kindergarten. There's a program out there called Excel by 5. Get out there and look at it. Start qualifying your city to be an Excel by 5 community. What that means is you're getting your children ready to learn by the age of 5. And we're almost certified in Hernando with that, and we're learning a lot of stuff. I'm learning things I didn't know. And as elected officials, if you haven't been in the classroom this year, you're missing a treat. I've been in the classroom 10 or 11 times this year. And of course, it's the right thing to do. The kids want to see their mayors and aldermen, and they're reading books to them. But it really kind of fills you back up and gives you some energy when you're in there with the kids. There's nothing like a first grader looking up and saying, "Hey, are you the president?" You know, that'll boost your ego. And I don't know how these legislators voted. I don't know the politics, so I don't want to step on any toes, but I'm going to anyway if I have to. I know we're looking for other ways to fund education. Regardless of your politics, Haley Barber put a study group together a few years ago. I think he called it the Blue Ribbon Tax Study Commission, brought together the 50 smartest people in the state. And they wrote a book about what we should do to redo our tax code. And one of the things I remember out of that, one of the glaring things was get rid of all these silly little special interest tax exemptions. You know, as mayors and aldermen, every time we see the legislature pass another tax exemption, we say, oh, how's that going to hit our sales tax? Well, that's 18.5%. What we ought to be thinking is, what about the other 81.5% the state just gave away? They could be giving it to education. So every time we see those special interest tax exemptions, that's money that could go to education. I think we need to be thinking about that. And I think the message here is if you care about your city, you have to care about education, because people that can afford to move to your city, and every city wants to grow, if they can afford to move, they are not going to move somewhere that's not safe for their kids and doesn't have good education. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you very much, Mayor Johnson.